Hello everyone, welcome to Encoded Frequencies with Katie, and welcome to a video all about what is light language. Are you already using light language? And if you're getting into it, what steps you can take to bring your light language online, how to feel confident, and how to let go of resistance and all of the monkey mind things that happen and just be a pure conduit and clean channel. If you're new to my channel, basically I'm a multidimensional energy channel. I channel galactic consciousness, higher consciousness energies, angels, dragons, lots of different beings that you can connect to in the universe. And I use that through light, color, sound, my voice, and I compose music. So I make different soundtracks to shift your brainwaves and take you into other dimensional realms so you can remember the truth of who you are. That you are powerful and that you are multidimensional. So let's get into it. So what is light language? The way that I see light language is essentially an unfiltered way to express life force energy. Energy is everything. Everything you think creates and emits a certain wavelength. We are electromagnetic beings, so our thoughts are electrical, our emotions are magnetic. We are in a constant dance and interconnectivity with the universe, with ourselves, with our body, with our organs, with our beings, with our tribe, with our earth, with our planets, with other collectives in the universe, and with the infinite grid and matrix of energy that flows all around. So I feel like when I am channeling light language, it's a way to make the pure energy particles expressed, bringing it and earthing it and grounding it through sound. Sound is a physical medium, meaning that if you clap your hands, it is physically pushing and pulling and refracting airwaves, and that is traveling through the medium of air towards you, through your body, through your organs, through the waters of your body, right? And sound is also energetic, meaning that it has the ability to encapsulate a certain tonality, a certain meaning, and a certain inferred reference. I teach sound therapy, I'm a sound therapist, and different musical aspects in the hierarchy of sound affect and create different shifts in our consciousness, in our moods, in our ability to regulate ourselves. So sound being energetic carries so much information, right? Think about someone who says something to you and they're like, wow, you look great today. And you feel the energy of what they're saying. You read the subtle impressions. Or if someone's like, wow, you look great today. And it's a different meaning altogether, right? So before we go into light language, just breaking down sound has a certain frequency range. It also has a certain tonality to it, which is the way that we interpret the sound. You can have a bright tone, you can have a warm tone, you can have an activating tone, and this is all about the harmonic structure of sound throughout the vibratory chordings of what you're speaking with your throat. So you can have activating, you can have odd harmonics, even harmonics, and that is all going to be interpreted by our body in very different ways. So if you ever meet someone and they just have a warm tone about them, you're already being shifted into states of ease and comfort, right? So another aspect of sound is the different intervals. So you can meet people who go through life and they have a very monotonous tone and they don't look very well. It's not a judgment, but some people are simply speaking at one certain interval. And you might meet people who through their voice speak through many different intervals, which creates a wide spectrum range of different frequencies that your energetic system is taking in as nutrients. All of the frequencies that you see are light waves, angstroms. All of the different frequencies that you hear are actually sending signals and information to our cells and to our body. So understanding light language as sound and understanding the fundamentals and the science of sound really helps you to create a full-bodied picture. Now, after the intervals, we have chords, and then we also have the aspect within sound of time, the musical flow. When you speak and it's really soft and flowing and smooth, and takes you on a journey. This is utilizing the tonality of your voice, the frequencies of your voice, the intervals of your voice, and the element of time. So when you are lulled into a sense of depth and warmth through the voice, your brain waves are shifting, your heart resonance is shifting. This might be annoying to you, but you're being affected all of the time by the element of flow and time within sound, within the sphere of what sound is comprised of. And the last element to really think about when we join light language with sound, which is my specialty, is the aspect of energy, is the aspect of the embedded consciousness within the sound. So this is everything to me. When I first started working with sound, I didn't really know much about light language, but I started using my voice to tone. So you might find as you're learning to open up your multidimensional energy channel, opening up a portal of light over your crown and learning to conduct and transduce higher life force energy, connecting to angelic kingdoms, connecting to the great central sun, connecting to stars and planets and all of these different sources of pure energy that we can run and channel through our body, connecting to Venus, connecting to the Milky Way, connecting to Sirius B, connecting to Arcturus, connecting to different dimensional realms. We have the ability to tune in, run, connect, channel, and earth energy from so many sources, right? And this is how I healed my body. This is how I healed from endometriosis. This is how my body, I rarely get sick. My body is always regenerating because I'm learning to run these pure particles of energy through my body, through visualization, through sound, and through the language of light. Light being information that is informing the makeup and operations of the billions and trillions of cells that we have regenerating all of the time, that send certain signals to the body to do different things, right? So when you learn to channel energy, I feel like light language is an expression that grounds that specific energy. This video is about spoken light language. So there are forms of writing, there are forms of mudras where you can express and move energy in the quantum field or in other people's energy fields with your hands. But for me, the process kind of began of just learning to tune into subtle energy impressions. So we have our physical world, 3D world, and we have our inner worlds. We have a whole range of frequencies that are above and vibrating and oscillating faster than we can physically, visually see with our human eyes. We have this sensation and ability within to read and understand and interconnect to a whole wavelength of sounds that we can't hear and light spectrums that we can't hear. And through all my sessions, what I'm shown is everything is stacked as an octave above the next. Everything is here in a channel. It doesn't necessarily have to be a channel, but what they showed me the other day is like you're like a spiral. There is a ring of light in one dimension, spirals up to another and up to another. So when your brain waves are operating in one octave of light, your physical body isn't necessarily seeing these other dimensional planes, but we can learn to fine tune blah 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 our third eye to receive and interpret and engage with data and information and light beings on other octaves. So when you learn to be a transducer, a connector, a conductor of light, of information, of energy, it needs to be expressed some way. And this is where light language comes in. You might start, for me, it was just, I started making tones. I felt an energy and I visualized a color or a light frequency. So say that I started to work with the violet flame and I started to channel light through my crown, and I just had this overwhelming urge. I remember toning into someone's throat and all I saw was violet fire and the person's body was there, and I just started going, and I started directing the current of light, of energy out of my voice as a physical wave, shifting her physical cells, and as an energetic wave, as an energetic signature frequency to recalibrate. Because of quantum energy, we understand that particles can connect without the physical presence of being next to each other, there is entrainment through distance, right? Time and space, right? So you can energetically plug in and tune into someone else across the other side of the world, and that's why distance energy sessions work. And you can affect their multidimensional energy layers and fields with sound, with light. By making sound here, the energetics of what you're channeling can affect that person on the other side of the world, right? So when I started making sound with my voice, I started recognizing the different tonality and timbre of my voice, and the different feeling and color sensations. And then I slowly started to understand different messages. So this is where your psychic senses can all amalgamate as one powerhouse. You don't have to just see or feel. It's a combination of allowing the flow of energy to move through your body, setting your intention. What am I channeling? Where is it going? Energy loves to be directed and redirected and utilized. You are the conductor of the energy, right? So feeling empowered to say, today, I'm going to tune in to the frequency of Jupiter for expansion, the energy of abundance, the energy of recalibration. Close my eyes, tune into my subtle senses, send, ping, a beam of light, entraining my frequency to the resonance, the archetypal resonance of that in its highest expression. Now there's a flow of information and energy running between the two. And I start to pull that light through the physical vessel of my being, through the many, many layers of my energy field. And I start to let my body vibrate, become a conduit in that channel. And then what happens is there's a beautiful energy that is ready to be released. And what is carried within that, and what you shift and what you create, is the different frequencies being emitted from your voice, the different energies, the different information, the different codes that come through. So your light language might just start as a tone, but goodness me, one tone can carry so much energy and power and might. You can learn to channel a whole legion of angels. And this is what I do with my toning on, if you've heard my light language activations, is I just channel a collective of angels that all gather their frequencies into one strand, and I pull it through my body, and it has so much information for wherever it's being received. And then it slowly trickles down through the matrix, through the grid. We are very programmable beings. It is a bunch of codes and keys and signatures and frequencies that make up our being. We look so physical and so solid, but we're really not. So there is so much room for shifting and growing and changing when we understand the energetic field, and our quantum field informs the makeup and the structure, the literal structure of our reality and of our physical body. So my journey into light language was sporadic, and I didn't really know about light language when I first started channeling light language. I think one person did it, and I was like, I remember being like, she's alien, I'm alien, I get it. My human self was like trying to interpret, being like, what do these words mean? Is there a language? If I hear katado, does that mean the same thing every time? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many questions that come about when you are practicing receiving light language, because there's so much to take in and so much conditioning to be like, okay, I don't need to know what they're saying. Turn off the conscious mind. We like to be in control. We like to know what's happening. We like to make sure that we're safe. We like to all of these chain reactions that happen. And I feel like once you move through that and allow and receive and accept and trust, you have to trust the channeler and the information and feel a resonance to what's coming through. Then you can drop the defenses and you can let the energy seep into the cells, into the molecules, into the quarks, into the very smallest particle of light, and it starts to shift and resonate and entrain. These are all terms of physics that actually recalibrate our makeup, and that's when you can see really profound changes. So I remember I was really depressed actually when my light language came on. I felt really alone. I kind of knew I was good at channeling energy, but I didn't really know what was happening. And it's the time when I discovered the blue avians. So it's like a galactic group of beings called the blue avian beings. And I had a channeling done for me, and I remember, no, it's a two-part process. I remember connecting to the Blue Avians, and someone did a session for me, and they were like, blah, 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 and they're like, my friend, my friend, my friend. And for some reason, I just burst into tears, just started crying, and my heart was just like, this is your family. These are your friends. You remember them and they remember you. You are on a mission. You are on Earth. You are far away from parts of yourself, but not far away at all. And everything is within you and around you and for you. And it was this overwhelming presence of love and connection and safety. So in my meditation, I was just like, okay, guys, I feel alone. I feel really alone. I feel like no one is here with me. And I'm doing these sessions for other people. I'm not really getting much love back. So I laid there in a meditation and I turned my sound lounge on, and I had all the frequencies running through my body that I compose and shifting my brain waves. And then all of a sudden, something went bloop, and I felt far out in my energy field, this little energy. I didn't see it. I didn't know what it was. It felt positive, and it was really high vibrational. And then I just started crying. So like, I was crying, being like, whoa. And then all of a sudden, a big surge of energy came, and I was just like, and then I started kind of interpreting what they were saying, but it doesn't mean that the light language is exactly what you're hearing. It's not like a real language, right? For me, it's not like a word for word translation thing. It's like an energy, an impression, and then I cognizantly hear information coming through, and I'm just telepathically, emotionally and cognitively connecting to the energy in the being. And they felt so close, and I felt so close to them because I was in such an altered state of consciousness. And I literally didn't stop speaking light language for about an hour. I burst into tears and I was like, what is this? What's happening to me? And then I was just dancing around my kitchen. I lived alone at the time before I had kids. And I was just so elated to be a conduit of the vessel. And then I went this way and I put way too much pressure on myself to understand what I was saying, to share it with other people. And then I was really nervous to share it with any of my friends. I only had like 2 or 3 lightworker friends at that time. This is only like 3 years ago. So like a lot can happen in 3 years if you're just starting your light language. Like things have evolved really quickly. But yeah, I just learned to trust it, and I learned to get over sharing it. So at the beginning I was like, oh, I'm going to have to tell people I do this before I start doing it with clients. But for about a year, I just kept toning and I didn't really share it. And then it becomes overwhelmingly strong as an urge to channel through your system. So then you start to play and start to master and start to work with the hierarchy of sound, the different tones, the different timbres, the different frequencies. Like dragon consciousness is really warm and slow. Like there's different tonalities and timbres and frequencies that are being emitted and relayed that surpass the human mind, but you can really feel it. So I just want to wrap up and say light language can be whatever you want it to be, but if you understand the science of sound, that different frequencies affect, the different tones, the different timbres, that the speed and the flow and the rate and the intention and the energy amalgamates as one expression, and the language of light moves through you. And if you always plug into the highest frequency possible and ask to be a conduit, and ask to allow and dissolve the defenses, dissolve the judgment. And that can take time, so take as long as you need. It will flow, it will feel liberating, it will feel wholesome, it will feel beautiful, and it will nourish you, and it will heal your body. So many sessions I see is people saying, you need to use your gifts for yourself. Stop being so worried about how people are going to receive your gifts, if you're going to turn it into a business, if you're going to do that. Relax, take it easy, and understand. Use your gifts to heal your body. Use your gifts to heal your life. Use your gifts to shift the stagnancy. Use your gifts as an expression and as joy for life, because you're here from these other realms to experience. human life, and it feels very dense and hard sometimes, but you have literally the connections points within you to make a change. And I sound like an inspirational speaker. You can do it. It's just because I've been through all the different stages and phases of it, and I just remember how hard it was. So I'm actually running a channeling light language mini 1 hour, $11 Q&A. So if you have questions about your light language, write them all down and come and meet me online on Zoom. The information's below, and we can just chat about, am I doing it right? And what about this? And da-da-da-da. Because I wish that I had someone to ask all these questions to, right? And then I'm running a 2.5 hour channeling light language workshop. So we'll go through techniques to open up, and I really want to run a clearing for the group on persecution wounding and any throat blocks, because another huge part of me opening up was releasing. Remember, I had a clearing for myself, and the light language channeler said that I had my throat ripped out in a life in Lemuria, or my throat slit for using my gifts. Ooh, it hurts my feelings even remembering it. And we healed that, we cleared that, we transmuted that, the trauma of that, like the PTSD in my soul of sharing. And very soon after that clearing, actually, my light language came on. So if you've been listening to this channel and your light language has come on, let us all know in the comment section below. If you're just getting into it and you're new to it, learn to channel energy, learn to be excited, allow it to be what it is, and give yourself like 5 years. Be like, okay, let's see how good I get in 5 years, you know what I mean? But just be a conduit and expression, and then come to some classes, learn to channel energy, join us for the lives, and there's a Lightworkers activation to help you move through and clear those things. There are resources all over the internet. I think normalizing this stuff is really important, and being confident and bold and brave and shy and nervous, being all of the things that you are and doing it anyway. Sending you all my love, and if you have any questions, drop them in below, and I hope to see you live and meet you people. That would be really cool and really fun. Sending all my love. Bye.